Hello, hello. So today I'm going to be watching season one of Seven Deadly Sins, or at least an episode of it. I've watched season one of Seven Deadly Sins about 2 or 3 years ago, and recently I started rewatching it, but it's been a couple of months since I saw the last episode that I saw. I believe I'm on episode 8 because the last thing I remember is Bond running into this crystally place, and then that's where the episode ended. So I'm probably on episode 8. Um, so like I said, I've seen it before. I haven't seen the most recent season. I don't know whether to call that season 2 or season 3, because there were a few, I think like 4 or 5 episodes in between. So I don't know if those 4 or 5 episodes count as season 2. I was under the impression that they're kind of like OVAs, but Netflix calls them season 2. So whatever. I saw those as well. I honestly don't remember anything about them. And I don't remember that much about this show. I remember some things, but I don't remember a lot of the plot heavy things, like the war that's going on and Elizabeth's situation. Um, but I do remember most of the characters, most of the main characters, most of the sins. Um, so with that, I'm just gonna go ahead and start on episode 8. I'm not gonna like go back and pretend to react to the first 7 episodes. I'm just gonna go ahead and start with 8 and see where that goes. Since I'm using this software and equipment and stuff for the first time, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to play out. I've done a few test runs, but again, it's not the same as actually doing the real thing. So if this video comes across kind of weird, weirdly edited, like for instance, the top of this video might be cut off because of the screen uh, capturing thing that I'm using. I may have done that incorrectly, but I'll look over this video while I'm editing it and see what went wrong and try to correct that for the next one. So, and I'm gonna edit this video down so that I don't have like more than 10 minutes of the actual episode here. Um, okay, and I am gonna watch the recap because it has been a while. Oh, and this is dubbed. Okay, great way to start a recap. I vaguely remember her. I think she's like in love with somebody. Wait, is the recap over? Is this. No. Okay. Skip intro. I don't remember how Elizabeth got hurt. Doesn't matter. Bun is my favorite sin, at least that I've seen so far. I believe there's two that I'm not really familiar with. Like there was one or two of them that were introduced at the end of the season, and then one more that we haven't seen. I'm not sure if that's right though. I will say I like King better, like the visual look of King better as a kid, but I don't like his personality as a kid. I know he's like being manipulated or something, but he just he's just kind of arrogant. I have mixed feelings about his personality. Yeah, just force her brother to do this instead. Oh, did something happen to his leg? Oh no, I guess it's just armor that he has on one leg and just one arm. So why is it he's turning to stone faster going down to his feet than he is going up to his hair? That's a nice statue. Gila. Not sure how to spell that. Wild instincts. Most informative. How did that create an explosion? Oh, her handles are rose. That really is a nice statue. I'd be kind of mad too. He can't go halfsies? That's a lot that's spilling out. They might as well have gone halfsies. Right. I remember that now. Are they like almost the same height? Uh huh. No. Did that on purpose. Oh, that's it. Oh, I think there might be after credits. Not fast enough. Okay. Uh, Stop. Well, that was episode 8. Uh, as I said before, Bond's my favorite character. So Meliodas, yeah, he's the most powerful, but his personality is also it's kind of flat. And he's a straight up pervert. And Elizabeth, she's just kind of annoying, um, and really, really naive. And as she said herself, for the first 7 episodes, she was always the one being saved, not really doing anything but just getting in trouble and running away. Um, Diane, I remember she's definitely better now than she was when she was first introduced, because she's becoming less jealous of Elizabeth over time, so that's good. Yeah, if I recall correctly, all of the characters get some character development, except for Meliodas. He kind of stays the same throughout. Um, and Hawk, because Hawk is already pretty top tier. So this episode, I guess we found out the extent of the connection between Vaughn and Elaine and how that went down. And at this point, King also realizes that Elaine doesn't hold a grudge against Bond at all, and that she really cared for Bond, and that Bond did what King didn't do. And King, I mean, how much? That's just a real jerk move. You're just gonna leave your only sibling all alone to protect the fountain of youth for 700 years. I mean, I'd get it if they like switched off, like, hey, okay, you protect it for 5 years, and then I'm gonna do it for 5 years, or if they're like, hey, I'm gonna stay with you for 100 years and then leave for 20 and then come back. Like, if they did it like that, it'd be cool. But he just straight up left her all alone for 700 years. And he's wondering why she had a closer connection to Bond. So that's part of why I have mixed feelings about King. I definitely prefer him as an adult. Like the flashbacks we get of him, like uh, I think he gave stuffed animals to to the children of some village or toys or something like that. And he was just a big softy and stuff. So personality wise, I prefer adult version of King. Appearance wise, though, I prefer the kid version. The kid version is kind of cute, especially when he, fawns over Deanne. And then we saw what's her name? Ela, I think. Oh wait, that little description thing just said Gila. Okay, so we saw her. I do slightly remember. I can't remember what episode we were introduced to her. But she was with somebody else, and I think she. Oh, I remember now. She was introduced in the episode where Bond broke out of prison, and she was in the prison, uh, and he took her clothes. I believe that was her. Um, so apparently her ability is explosion. and she can apparently explode things with her sword. And we found out other people's abilities too. Sir Meliodas has full counter. He can counter back a person's own power uh, times two, which is why he never attacks first. Um, and then Bonds is snatch, like the thief he is. He can just take whatever he wants. I think there's an episode that uses that midway through the season or something. Like that's we see more of that or something. But I would say the season is definitely picking up with this and last episode. The first few episodes were kind of slow, kind not slow isn't really the right word. It just hadn't gotten into its groove yet. Especially episode two, I think, where they went to a random village with the kid and the sword in the ground. That was either episode two or three, can't remember which, but that's probably my least favorite episode of the season so far. Um, it's definitely the least memorable, at least memorable in a good way. Um, but yeah, I'd say right now is where the season really picks up. We're learning new characters, new information, getting some world building, getting character development, all that stuff. Um, and we already have four of the seven sins at this point. Um, I believe we don't see another one until towards the end of the series. So for now, it's just Sir Meliodas, Deanne, no, sorry, Sir Meliodas, Deanne, Bon, and King. And like I said, Bon's my favorite character. He just from his first introduction, like his first centered around him episode, we already see character development there. We already see his hidden layers. So right from the start, he has the most he has the most layers. He has the most um, rounded personality, where it's not just he's this one trait and that's his caricature. No, he has like a fuller personality at this point than the others do. Um, and he just seems like a cool guy without being a cold guy. Um, I just kind of feel bad for him because he has all this grief, drinking to forget and all of that. So yeah. Well, that was episode 8 of Seven Deadly Sins. Um, can't wait to watch the next one.